Otto Herfurth was born January 22, 1893 in Hasselrode, Saxony. He joined the 3rd Lower Silesia Infantry Regiment No. 50 on August 11, 1914, as a cadet. He was promoted to lieutenant on the 30th of September 1915. He was then transferred to the 403rd Infantry Regiment. On October 1, 1929, he was promoted to Hauptmann. He was then promoted to Major on the 1st of September 1935. On the 1st of June 1938, he was promoted to Oberstleutnant, and on July 1, 1939, he was transferred to the OKH. After the campaign in France, he took command of the 117th Infantry Regiment on November 15, 1940. Otto Herfurth was promoted to the rank of Oberst on the 1st of June 1941. On September 18, 1942, he received his Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross for successful campaigns near Terek. On March 5, 1943, he was sent to Stuttgart as Chief of General Staff for Deputy General Command 5th Army Corps. On the 1st of October 1943, he was promoted to General Major. On the 1st of June 1944, as Chief of General Staff to Deputy General Command 3rd Army Corps, he was then transferred to Berlin. On July 20, 1944, Otto Herfurth initially supported the attempted coup going on in Berlin after the bomb attempt on Adolf Hitler. Otto Herfurth was apparently not aware of the plans, but received the Valkyrie commands and then granted permission to alarm the entire military district of Berlin. On August 14, 1944, Otto Herfurth was arrested and discharged dishonorably from the Wehrmacht by a court of honor. He was then sent to the People's Court under Roland Freisler on September 28th through the 29th. On the 29th, they found him guilty for treason, and on that day, he was hung in Berlin Plotzense prison. Now, if you're not the most familiar with the July 20th plot, I figured I would just throw in a little bit here from David Irving's Hitler's War, and this is from the chapter Do You Recognize My Voice? In my copy, it's page 703. Shortly before 4 o'clock, his chief, General Fromm, telephoned Keitel from Berlin and said that rumors were flying around the capital, and ought he declare a state of emergency. Quote, "The Führer is alive," Keitel rasped. "There is no cause whatever for that. Is Stauffenberg in Berlin?" Fromm, taken aback, replied, "No, I thought he was at the Führer's headquarters." Almost at once, the Wolf's Lair began muttering the most extraordinary orders emanating from Fromm's office to the territorial army commands, proclaiming a state of emergency by the code word Valkyrie. By telephone, too, the commands were being instructed that Field Marshal Erwin von Witzleben, Rundstedt's predecessor, was now supreme commander of the Wehrmacht, and that he had appointed General Erich Höppner commander of home forces. Now I'm starting from page 706, right here. Hitler was heard shouting into the telephone, but with his ears deafened, he could hardly hear the answers. He asked to speak to Raymer himself. "Major Raymer, can you hear? Do you recognize my voice?" Raymer could and did, once heard Hitler's voice was unforgettable. "Major Raymer," continued Hitler, "they tried to kill me, but I'm alive. Major Raymer, I'm speaking to you as Supreme Commander. Only my orders are to be obeyed. You are to restore order in Berlin for me. Use whatever force you consider necessary. Shoot anybody who tries to disobey my orders." This was the second deadliest blow to the plot, for it enabled Hitler to use the army itself to put down the conspiracy. Now this is page 713, and I'll only read this last bit from the paragraph here. A preliminary conference between Bormann, Speer, and Goebbels preceded the full session on July 23rd, with Hitler, Goering, and Himmler. Hitler ordered Goering to appoint the propaganda minister Reichskommissar for total war mobilization, and announced, despite the misgivings of his physicians, that he would speak to the Gauleiters in a week's time. Speaking to Goebbels, he vented his fury at the Masonic Lodge, the General Staff. He was going to have the traitors turned over to Judge Roland Freisler and the People's Court, not trusting Army court-martial to give them their true deserts. Now, with that information forward, do you guys have anything on Otto that I've missed? Do you think that he was actually a conspirator all along and that he just played dumb to it? Or do you think that he really did just go with what seemed to be happening at the moment, thinking it was best, and then tried to back out too late? Either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you next time.